What's poppin', everybody? This is Saber4 with a new deck today. A new deck, but also a blast from the past, seeing that this deck combo was used in the original EX era and now is back with the revamped version since Celestial Storm. I am, of course, talking about the Ludicargo from EX Deoxys and Ludicolo from the same set. I think this guy originally was in EX Deoxys as well. Now, these cards were in the EX era originally, and Celestial Storm, along with Dragon Majesty, revamped a lot of these old cards. The same similar artwork, but updated stats and effects. And this is the deck we're going to be looking at today. Now, there is a way to build this deck better, and it is run Zoroark GX as opposed to Ludicolo. But I just thought I'd show this deck to you guys because it's fun, it's kind of cool. It really brings back some cool memories of an old school deck that was really fly. The combo of using Ludicargo, putting any card from your deck on top of your deck, and then using Ludicolo to draw that card. Well, not you using Swing Dance to draw this card. Now, with the Ludicargo here, you can do this combo with all sorts of Pokemon. You can use Zoroark GX, of course, the most powerful partner. You can use even Uranguru. A lot of people, of course, have been using this combination. Even things like the Sandslash, just any Pokemon that has an ability that just lets you draw a card. You can even use cards like just items like the not Looker's Whistle, the Judge's Whistle, Acrobike, all these cards to basically let you get any card you want instantly to your hand like that. So I really want to stress that this deck isn't the most competitive deck in the world. I just wanted to show it to you guys. Maybe some people really want to try it out, try and make it work. And it is kind of fun. I wish it was a little better. If we're being objective, Ludicolo does have a few benefits, advantages over Zoroark GX, but the same can be said with Zoroark GX. He has a lot of advantages over this guy, and when you just weigh them together, Zoroark GX is the better partner, the better card to run. It's a stage 1, even though it gives 2 prizes, it has a lot more HP. It can use this attack with only a DCE. You got the GX uh, attack you can utilize as well. It's just it has a lot of things that make it better than Ludicolo. But we're going to be using Ludicolo anyway. So our main Pokemon, of course, is going to be this Ludicolo. You got to have the 4 Lotat here from the Celestial Storm set. It's the only one I think we have available. It's a good basic Pokemon though with Surprise. You can do 10 damage and even disrupt your opponent's hand. They're going to lose a random card, put it back into the deck. Nice. You gotta have your 1 Lombre, stage 1. If this Pokemon has any energy attached to it, it has no retreat cost. This can be handy. Not bad. And then you got 3 Ludicolo. If you want to run 4, then it's up to you, but I think 3 is a good enough number. I've also have the Rescue Stretcher as always, just in case we want to grab one back. You don't want your games to drag too much. You want to, if everything is going according to plan, you want to be getting big knockouts on GX Pokemon, at least 2-hit knockouts if they're stage 2s or the tag team GXs. So this Pokemon, of course, is solid with Swing Dance. It lets you draw a card in circular steps. Is a decent attack. And Polion's one from Ultra Prism is probably, I mean, better in a few ways. This card might be better in that it also involves your opponent's active Pokemon. So if they want to not have too many things on the bench, then maybe you can do a little bit more respectable damage like that. But you know, in total, it's going to do 180 damage before add-ons. So with the choice band, 210. It's good damage output. It can get the job done. That's why we run it. But it could have been better, especially since it needs 3 energy. Now, my only complaint about this Pokemon is the HP. Ludicolo here having 140 HP. I wish it was at least 150. 140 isn't as good as it used to be. This is like Hard Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, HP standard at this point. And I mean, especially when I think about the EX Deoxys Ludicolo, I think that Pokemon had top-notch HP for the time. I would think anyway. It had as good as it could get. So it'd be good if Ludicolo here, the revamped version, had a lot of HP too. Weakness to lightning. This can also be another problem for this card. Lightning Pokemon are really popular these days. I mean, Zekrom GX would KO you super easy anyway, but you know, it sucks that even things like Zapdos can KO this Pokemon just very, very easy. So a lot of downsides, but I'm still going to show you guys some games with this deck. Now the other partner you got to have with Ludicolo is the Ludicargo here. So I run a 2-2 line of these, 2 of this Ludicargo and 2 of the Slugma. I'm running this one that has 70 HP as opposed to one with 80 HP because Magma Ring might be a decent attack. You don't really want to waste your attachment, but maybe sometimes it's just the best call to use Magma Ring, make your opponent stuck there. I guess it has a slightly better retreat cost too than the other one. Player preference though, if you want to go with the 80 HP Slugma, it wouldn't be bad. I actually considered running that guy too. Yeah. And to Ludicargo, like I've said, you run this because of smooth over. And that's about it. You can't use combustion. The HP isn't the greatest. Retreat is big, but just a great ability. You gotta run it for that. And now for support. These are the only. I mean, Ludicolo really is the only attacker here. Everybody else is in here for support. Starting with the Jirachi here. Now, if I had more, I'll probably run a few more of these, like maybe 2 at the very least, but I only have 1. Stellar Wish is great, opening up with Jirachi, helping us set up, helping us get our Pokemon. If you can't get like a bunch of Ludicolos really quickly out in Ludicargo, then this deck is going to struggle even more than it would normally do. So you gotta have a consistent build. So Jirachi is going to help us with that. I do have a few switching cards, so it won't be that difficult to move this guy out of the way. Then I've got my Vulpix here, along with Vulpix, to help us search out those Ludicolos and other Pokemon. This is basically like your budget sort of Jirachi. You know, if you don't have Jirachi, this is a good little Pokemon still. With Beacon, you can search 2 Pokemon. Thing is, it doesn't get stuck like Jirachi 2, and it's not an ability, so it has a few things going for it as well. It's not completely inferior to Jirachi, but you know, Jirachi is probably the better option. If you don't have that though, then this guy is good. It's a water Pokemon, so we can search it. I mean, I actually don't run Brooklet Heal in this deck, but if you do run Brooklet Heal, then you can search this guy as well. And then we've got my Mr. Mime. I like this guy. It's going to prevent our opponent from using Acerolas and any other cards that basically puts them into their hand, like pretty much Acerola. Like one of the problems with this deck and any deck that doesn't get one-hit knockouts is that your opponent can just use Acerolas and heal their dude essentially, and that screws up just about any deck. Like it makes you be at the mercy of decks like Zoroark GX, where they can just use Acerola so easily. So this guy should stop them, make their life harder. And then the last Pokemon is just going to be this Furamasa. If you have Tapu Koko, the promo one that has free retreat and does all the spreading damage, you guys know the one, then it probably is a better option. I don't have that once again, so this is why I'm running Furamasa. Just because it's a free retreater, if I open with this Pokemon, I can move it out of the way and promote the corresponding Pokemon for the situation. Either Jirachi, Vulpix, even like Lotad, Ludicolo, whatever. And I guess we can use High Jump Kick too. So I guess if you slap a Choice Band and you hit Grass Weak Pokemon for weakness, maybe you have that thing going. It's nice because it's a grass Pokemon. Sometimes it could function as a wall too. Like if your opponent played down their own stadium, the Conservation Paradise, then this card gets the benefit as well. So it's kind of nice. You know, Free Retreater is the best guy I have, honestly. If you got Tapu Koko, maybe that guy's better. And those are the Pokemon. Pretty simplistic line. No other attacker. Just get your Ludicargo out, get Ludicolo out, and start attacking and grabbing whatever you need. The beauty of this deck is that even though Ludicolo has a slightly more expensive attack than something like Empoleon, you can actually search the DCs in this deck using the Ludicolo Ludicargo combo. You can grab whatever you need. So that's one of the benefits over that Pokemon. Right. Now for our consistency skeleton, the trainers, you gotta start with the 3 nest balls, search those basic Pokemon, very important. Then you gotta run 2 Ultra Balls for the other ball. This is gonna be for me to search out my Ludicolo, perhaps even Ludicargo, maybe even Jirachi. depending on the situation. It's very good. It's okay to run Ultra Ball in this deck because if we dump a few water energies is good. We have Aqua Patch, another good way to instantly power up Ludicolo. You know, use one Aqua Patch, slap a DC, the guy's ready to go. Nice. You gotta have your 4 rare candy, of course, since we're running a stage 2 deck. And my typical techs, the 1 rescue stretcher, recycle any Pokemon or just shuffle a bunch of Pokemon back in the deck. This will normally be reserved for an extra Ludicolo, just in case you need it, or maybe an emergency somebody else. And that's about it. Rescue Stretcher, really good card. 2 Field Blower. If you want to drop like maybe one of these and add something else, it wouldn't be bad, but I like my consistent 2 Field Blowers in my decks, most of my decks anyway. So just thought I'd mention that. You probably don't need 2 of these. It's not like we have Garbodor with Garbotoxin around, but it's still good to get rid of your opponent's tools in stadiums. Right. My switching cards, you gotta have a few of these. I run double switch. There's no point running a skateboard in this deck because for one, nobody can really utilize it. Ludicargo can't utilize it. Even Ludicolo can't really utilize it. I mean, it's gonna soften up his retreat, but it's not really that efficient. This guy has free retreat, so he doesn't care. And these guys, I guess they could utilize it, but I just rather have a switch around, basically for Jirachi. A lot of people like to run the Absol tech from Team Up, and that makes your skateboard almost useless, so I'd rather have an extra switch, is better. With 2 switches and our 2 Titan Lizzas, we have 4 decent switching options here, so that should be good. And then last but not least, I gotta have my tools, my only 2 tools, and the stadium 2 choice band to help out with the KOs with Ludicolo. I would run more tools if I had the space, but there's a lot of stuff we had to slap in here. You got to remember, unfortunately, Ludicolo is a stage 2 Pokemon, and Ludicargo is a stage 1, so they kind of eat up a lot of space. This is why Zoroark GX at least is a stage 1. It's just a lot more consistent with Ludicargo. So that's one of the big benefits of that guy. And then the last non-supporter card, we got Shrine of Punishment. So instead of running other stadiums like, I don't know, the Sky Pillar to prevent my bench from being targeted, or running Brooklet Heal, search out the water Pokemon in this deck. A Shrine of Punishment is the way to go. You know, it's a really expensive card for an uncommon for a reason. It's just great. It just really just puts on the damage counters on those GX Pokemon. Since this is an anti-meta deck, you gotta run this, help out your Ludicolo, get those KOs. I'll soften up those tag team GX Pokemon and take care of them. And it's because for this reason that I don't run any GX Pokemon, no Tapu Lele GX to help me set up like that. I just don't want to give easy access to my opponent to get an easy KO. If that even made any sense. Basically, I have my Tapu Lele GX. It gets the spread damage, and then before you know it, it becomes an easy target for my opponent to pull and get easy 2 prizes. So this is why I don't like to run, like, avoid any sort of a disadvantage I could give to myself if possible. Like, you guys will know if I'm running this, I probably almost never run any GX Pokemon in my decks. So that's the point of the Shrine. Very, very good. Alright, now the supporters. Typical stuff, the 4 Cynthia is basically standard. You have to run 4 of these. She's still awesome. 1 Erica's Hospitality. This card can be kind of shit in some situations, but she's too good. At the right time, she's going to be your favorite supporter to see when you have a bunch of cards in hand. Not too many so that you can still use it, but you don't want to get rid of any of them. Your opponent has a full bench. She's going to give you like 6 cards and shit, so she's great. It's like a Chorus. Chorus is probably still slightly better. Like if I had that guy in standard, I would probably run that guy as opposed to her, but she's still great. Next up, we got our double Lily. Gotta run her too, as opposed to running things like Elm and other things. I'd rather use this card turn 1 and draw a bunch of cards. Nice. So 2 of her. And then we got Ingo and Emmet, are sort of shitty Sycamore Juniper Wannabe. It's just a decent card, I guess. Dump and draw. Only one. I mean, it lets you look at the top card of your deck, so maybe you can get something that you need at the very least. So yeah, I guess it's like you almost get 6 cards because you get one that you need, maybe. He's not the greatest, but he should be good. One copy, why not? If you want to dump this and run like Copycat, maybe run somebody else like Tate and Liza, or maybe you run the Tourist, the Sightseer, or whatever. It's up to you. Then I already touched Tate and Liza's. This is also a good draw card as well. Shuffle, draw 5. Good. And then only one Faulkner. This is like my Skylar dude. And that's about it. Now the only thing that's left is the energies, and they're pretty standard as well. You gotta run 4 DCs. Ludicolo can make use of this. Nobody else can really make use of it, and Ludicolo is the only attacker. Like I've said, if you have Tapu Koko, then it would be nice in this deck. You spread a little bit of damage around while you're setting up, help out Ludicolo with those KOs, and it's just a great Pokemon, Tapu Koko anyway. You know, since you're running the DCs, why not? So yeah, if you have that guy, and then 8 water energies to round the energies up for Ludicolo. So this is the deck, guys. It's really sweet. It's not as effective as it was in the original EX era, you know, but I really wanted to use it. I toyed around with it a little bit and changed it. I tested with it. I had a shittier version going and I made some changes. This one is a little better. I'm going to show you guys some games. Hopefully you guys like them. And this is the deck if you want to use it yourselves. Ludicolo and Ludicargo. To be honest, even if I don't even have Zoroark GX, so I wouldn't be able to try it with Zoroark if I wanted to. So Ludicolo was the only option since I managed to get a few of these. It just seems like Zoroark GX is going to get rotated out and I'll never be able to use it because I couldn't manage to get one. I couldn't manage to get any. But anyways, Cerebro94, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys subscribe and share this deck with your friends if you want to see some cool decks like these. Yeah, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Like this video, of course, and I'll see you guys on the matches. Cerebro94, thank you guys for watching. What's say?